ton of other awesome and great bowl games. Joined alongside my week-to-week co-hosts, JP and Reese. Jake will be joining the studio and the show later in the episode. But gentlemen, we are here. We are back. This is the place to be for your coast-to-coast coverage of college football. JP, how are we doing tonight? Ready to break down these round one CFP games, which honestly, I've been seeing not a lot of hype and not a lot of excitement from people around these games, more just pissed off people.
Yeah, I think I was watching a bowl game here a little bit ago, and the halftime show was 99% college football playoff prep and 1% coverage of the game. That was always 3 points at halftime. So that tells you kind of what the national media outlook on everything is. But, you know, Jake's going to be a little late. Apparently, we have to work jobs. That's a thing. And
adults,
you can help that by hitting the subscribe button. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't yet. Hit the like button on the episode. Reese, what about you? How you feeling? We got some great bowl games going. The Cure Bowl just wrapped up. Old Dominion with the win and the cover for the show for the boys. Delaware, Louisiana just kicked off. About 9 minutes left in the first quarter in a scoreless ball game. What are you thinking? It's bowl season so far. It's brought us some great games.
I mean, it's just shout out to Hens. It's your first season being FBS, and you have a chance to go win 7 games, go above 500. It's your first bowl game you're making. So it's pretty impressive. It's seeing that ODU game was pretty solid. I was completely wrong on USF in that one. And turns out Byron Brown and Alex Golich, and that was pretty important for that team. So
pretty important.
Go Monarchs.
Yeah, the Monarchs, they controlled that game defensively. USF took a massive step back without their best player on their team. Go figure, especially when he's
crazy how that works.
Every single play.
We'll say I'm pulling a Jake this year and basically just stealing his thunder and his whole get up, just trying to get a little action on all the bowl games here. We're 3-0 to this point. He has the under, I believe, in this nightcap, and I have Delaware plus the 3. So stealing a little bit of his thunder there. But it's fun. It looked like something good. He did really well last year. I just want to see if I can top that. Probably not, but follow us on X too. If you want to follow our personals as well as the show, we do a lot of interaction on there. So appreciate everybody joining in.
Boys are tweeting out the picks.
There's so much to get to today.
Yeah, and I promise, if you've been following along with the show and our Twitter, our general Twitter at Play the Fight Pod, hit the follow button. Also follow our personals, like JP said, tab down below on the screen in front of you right now. It's been a little light content-wise over the last few weeks. That's just, again, our outside job. So reminder, hit the subscribe button. Please, for the love of God, Christmas, let's get by you. And then we can focus on Play the Fight Song and all this college football stuff. But speaking of that college football stuff, let's go into it, gents. Let's talk round one of the college football playoff. We're going to start it roundtable style tonight. We're going to talk just through the games, not too in-depth. You've taken in every show in the country has covered these games. And this is what you hear a majority of the year is these teams being covered. So we will still talk the bowl games. They still matter here. They're still very important. That's the focus on our show, is to give the coverage to the teams that deserve it just as much as the college football playoff. But we got to talk these first round games as they bring some awesome matchups and a couple of great opportunities for G5 programs to show the world that it's still college football and these teams are damn good that are playing in these games. So with that, let's go into round one of the college football playoff. Let's start off on the Bama and Oklahoma side of things, guys. This matchup, another rematch, which we've seen before in the college football playoff. Oklahoma won 23-21 back on November 15th in Bryant-Denny Stadium. This time, Alabama travels back to Norman to face a stagnant and stout Oklahoma defense. What do you think on this game? Where's your thoughts at? Do you see it, hard to beat a team twice, the whole spiel? Where do you see it, JP?
Yeah, I mean, it is hard to beat a team twice, right? But the whole concept of OU coming back home, I think, gives them a little more life and everything. I think it gives them a little more, we had a chance and stole one on the road. Now you have to come to our place and do it again, right? You have to steal one here. And they like their odds in that situation. I will say, I wrote down, is the world that convinced that Alabama just comes back and wins this game? I understand that the one in Tuscaloosa was a couple turnovers and a yardage gain from Alabama to go win that one. But it's not like the team has gotten better since that moment in Alabama. And I don't think Oklahoma's just kind of sat back and not gotten any better either. They've had a little more time to rest up, a little more time to, come up with something to get that offense moving a little bit more than it has been. And so it screams the same type of game as it was in Tuscaloosa. That's why we, picked that game the way we did, is we didn't think the turnovers would happen. Well, they did happen. And so you're going to sit in a spot here with Oklahoma more and more confident. They have their home crowd behind them. First round playoff situation where I'm gonna imagine that like this is where Oklahoma fans expected to be, is like hosting a first round playoff game. But I can't say the rest of the country was just sitting there being like Oklahoma's going to go 10-2, right? So it's going to be a really good one to start everything off. What kind of Alabama do you get offensively? Did it look better along the offensive line? And is there any run game at all, or is it just Ty Simpson, looking to get him back into early season form where he was the only reason they were winning a lot of games offensively?
Mm-hmm. And one thing that sticks out to me is Oklahoma. It's a team that has not lost since the month of October. They rattled off 4-0 in November. Obviously, very good thing leading into what now stands as the college football playoff. But one thing I've always noticed about these games is teams that play in conference title games, win or lose, it's kind of a side benefit. It's like getting that bye creates I don't want to say lack of urgency, but you kind of got to get your feet back under you, right? It's been a few weeks since Oklahoma has played in a football game, and it hasn't been that way for Alabama, especially with this being the first round. So look for Alabama to come out firing, get off to a good start. That's kind of where I see it. But then that Oklahoma defense kind of settles back into what they've done all year. I think a lot of it falls on what John Mateer can do, right? Like, can he be the healthy version of John Mateer? Because it did take a step back even when he came back from what he was doing at the start of the season. So it comes down to the trenches, as most college football games do. If that Alabama O-line can perform better than what they did in the SEC title game, and they can get just a decent ground game going, not have negative yards in total for the game, then they can kind of control it, get Ty Simpson into the situations that he wants to be in as a quarterback. Before we go to Reese, Jake joins the studio if you're listening on podcast.
What up, Shane?
In my full breakdown. I appreciate the silence, Jake, but how are we doing? Joining, business is over, wrap that up, time to talk football.
Yeah, it's like Christmas time now. That was like my last one of the year. We got the Ventures Bowl on, not to get sidetracked from some Alabama, Oklahoma. Yeah. What? Any more thoughts on this game? I think this will probably be the most boring game of the weekend. Hot take.
That might
comes in
boring game as in like defensive, or boring game as in like who cares?
No, it doesn't. Not who cares.
Okay.
This won't be fun to watch. But like,
would you call it like a vanilla game? Like very
you just like a Big Ten game, Jake? Big Ten Jake?
Yeah, but you can't change the logo on it because there's SEC logos involved.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
So it's a good game if it's defensive and low scoring because they're just that good.
Got it. Yep.
This might be harder to watch.
I thought we had that one covered.
We have covered it many a times.
Always reiterated.
Yeah. No, I don't know. I have Alabama. I bet Alabama in this one, but
gotcha.
There's the rumor out there with you guys hear like this hot rumor about Ty Simpson. He's got some back injury going on in the Burnerverse.
Mm-hmm.
You guys been hearing about that? I don't know. But also I don't trust.
Everybody's dinged up.
What's Oklahoma going to do? Like the last time we saw this team, they couldn't score on LSU. Like, are they really going to go out there and score 20 points on this Alabama team?
Fair.
Maybe. Just how this Alabama team might be super banged up. They might have Georgia might have beaten the tar out of them.
Yeah, I was going to go there, Jake. Like, it feels like even if Oklahoma gets the turnovers, they're going to need more than one just big play.
Oh yeah,
right. Like they'll look at like some of the games they've won. Yeah, it can't be like 175-yard touchdown pass on a slant that gashes somebody, or it can't be 165-yard run in the second quarter, right? Like this has got to be a sustained drive. And honestly, like settling for 3, as much as that hurts in some situations, like getting anything on the board to build confidence, like 2 or 3 first downs and a field goal, I feel like you take that as a win if you're Oklahoma in this situation. If you're Alabama, it cannot happen. You can't settle for 3 in the Alabama side. Maybe that's a weird way to look at it, or the wrong way to look at it, but that's kind of how I'm seeing it. Like you're on the road with Alabama. You already played this team once and didn't get anything going. Offense has sputtered a little bit more and more down the stretch. You can't settle for 3 on the road. The home team, who's kind of the similar situation, the offense hasn't been popping. You can take the 3 and lean on the defense and lean on the fans a little bit. I don't know if anybody else feels different on that.
I should have brought this up in my intro, but first 3-loss team in the college football playoff, correct?
Yep.
I think so.
Does it qualify?
I would think it would.
I mean, they have the 3 in that second column.
It's true, but
this team does have 3 losses.
It has to.
Adds up. Reese, what about you?
Reg.
I haven't heard from you yet. What are your thoughts on this game? What do you think these two teams and this matchup brings?
I mean, we've seen the Crimson Tide just be super stagnant the last, 5-6 weeks of the season. Like, we just haven't seen what they were at the beginning of the year with Ty Simpson. Like, he's been forcing balls, pressuring into situations. Like, so I think it's just on the road, you have to get something going, especially in the first quarter. The run game, I don't think is going to be there. We've seen the Oklahoma front seven and how difficult they are to get a run game going. So what is Grubb going to be able to dial up schematically to get some quick throws out there to make sure Simpson doesn't hold on the ball too long, make those bad throws, make those errant throws, throw to the sidelines, don't throw over the middle, let a guy tip it and take one and go the other way. Because you talked about like the turnovers are going to be big in this. If you're Alabama, you can't afford to turn over in your own end zone or in your own area and their area as well. It's because think about that. We talked about how Oklahoma can't sustain drives. If you're going to give it to them in plus territory or give it to them when you have a chance to score, like that's just taking points out of your own hands right there. Obviously, that's how they lost game one, but we just haven't seen Oklahoma that offense do anything long term. Put 4 quarters together of a game plan. So if you're Alabama, I think defensively you have to find a way to force turnovers and punch the ball out of some guys' hands, disguise looks, do something different because we've seen Oklahoma. Arbuckle is a great offensive coordinator, but there's just something about this offense that just can't get it going. The over-under is at 39.5 for this game. So like even Vegas is telling you it's going to be ugly. So yeah, turnovers and field goals are going to determine this game, I think.
I'm glad you brought that up as a part of the.
Did you see that today?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm glad you brought that up as a part of Alabama's offense, Reese, because looking back on their last 5 games, including the SEC title, points outside of their Week 12 bye, as you get in the SEC, 20 against LSU, 21 against Oklahoma the first time, 56 against Eastern Illinois, so you can take that out if you want, 27 against Auburn, and 7 in the SEC title. So it hasn't been like jump off the page numbers outside of Eastern Illinois for this Alabama offense. So if you kind of had that red flag pop up and Reese was like, they haven't been very consistent, it's true. It's there on paper and you've seen it if you watch the games, but that could just be good football consider they're playing SEC teams, JP. Any more thoughts on this matchup before we pick it, Jake? I feel like you got some more thoughts over there. We haven't heard from you much. Just joined the studio, kind of settling in.
Yeah, I really have. I don't know
why Alabama.
Podcasting. Why Alabama? Because this team doubled them, they doubled them in yards the first time they played, and it was right side the whole time. That's why. I mean, but that Alabama team looks light years different than the team we're really seeing now. Like it really feels like this Alabama team is limping to the finish line, which is the concerning part to me. But that's what my gut tells me. My heart tells me just trust the difference between these two teams and go that route. Like you've seen these two teams play already. And I know it's college football and things can change. People are going to change schematically, but just I'm trusting it. And maybe I'll get proven wrong. Yeah. That's fine. I don't think Norman's also like this big. I mean, I don't think it's this big environment that's like top 5 in college football.
I mean, they're going to be in it the whole time. I feel like because there's no way Alabama goes out there and like blows the doors off and like the crowd gets taken out of it. Sure, gets the crowd taken out of it. Like the crowd will be loud the whole time. Like that's part of it. Too.
Oklahoma went to Brian Denny. Like I think Brian Denny's a tougher place to play. I don't know.
Yeah, true. I'm saying the crowd's going to be a part of the game every time.
I just don't.
I don't be part of it.
I don't factor the home crowd in this game. I should say.
I think you might be mistaken.
All right, let's pick this one. Yeah, Alabama, Oklahoma, Alabama, 1.5 point favorite live right now on the road in the rematch after they lost the first time. Where do you see the game? Who do you think wins? Who do you think covers? Who's moving on to the second round in this matchup, JP?
I'm going to take Oklahoma. I talked about it kind of on the onset before Jake jumped on. I think that there is an element here in which you can say, we stole one from you in your place. Now you got to come to our place and steal one back. And it feels like it's a taller hill to climb for Alabama here in this spot. And I'll take the home team as a short dog. And honestly,
all teams are undefeated in the first round playoff. First round of the 12-team playoff.
This is true. And I don't have this as 4. I will say I don't have this as like comfortably. Like I'm sitting there and they're up 14 in the fourth quarter. I'm just going to take the team that's a home dog in this situation, and they've already got them once, and now you got to play them at home.
Yeah, I like the pick, but I got to go the other way. And I think I got to just stick to my guns in this spot. I like Bama in the rematch here. Like Jake said, it was a team that really controlled that game in Bryant-Denny Stadium the first time around. They can avoid the stupid mistakes, which Granted, we've seen in the first round of the college football playoff from teams, SMU, but if they can avoid those, I really like what they bring to the table in this spot. I think it's a massive advantage and something that's going under the radar that they've played a recent football game and haven't been sitting on the couch, quote unquote. I know they've been practicing for the last couple of weeks. I think they get off to a hot start and they can really attack Oklahoma with their weapons and just do enough in this spot. I like Alabama 24-20 in this matchup. I think they take this one on the road. Reese.
Take the over there. I'm going to go with JP in this one. I think Alabama's banged up. They're not looking enough offensively like they kind of were at the beginning. Not sure what's going on. It's too much on Ty Simpson's shoulder. I think you're going to go into Norman. You're going to force some throws. Let the defense do what they've been doing all year. And I'll take Mateer and them to get 14 to 17 points. For that defense might be enough for them if Ty's going to turn the ball over. So I'll take Oklahoma here.
Can you imagine if Alabama does come out and really gets manhandled and kind of just flutters away, similar to a situation like they get beat 20-7, something like that? Can you imagine the Notre Dame fans coming out of the woodwork to bitch about that even more? Jake, what's your pick?
Any game, yeah.
Covering, obviously, Alabama, but you got them covering and comfortably or what?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I was even trying to think, like, where's Alabama? What road games have they won this year? And they have probably the most impressive one of the college football season, winning in Athens, winning in Columbia, Missouri, that is. And they won at Auburn last week of the year. I know Auburn wasn't great, but that was still a tough environment to play in. So, yeah, I trust them, and I think they can get out of this one alive, and I'm sure this one will be kind of a tough watch.
Must be play the fight song, a 2-2 split to kick off the first round of the college football playoff previews. Let's move it down the line. Let's go to Saturday's games. Let's start at 11 a.m. in Aggie land. The 12th man takes on the Miami Hurricanes. Texas A&M. This is going to be a hell of an environment, a team that nobody was sure was going to get in Miami. A lot of high-flying athletes on the field in this one. 10-2 versus 11-1. Where do we see this game? Reese, what do you think?
Shara JTR under did not hit on Miami this year, but we rode with it together. This one, I just think, you too. But I think this one offense, you're looking at A&M's got Reed, Craver, Concepcion, Owens, and I haven't confirmed if Moss is back or not yet, but they're talking that he might be. And then on the Miami side, you got Beck, Fletcher, Tony. Like, those are two offenses with a lot of weapons, and I think this game could be super fun depending on the quarterback we play, or it can be super bad depending on the quarterback play we get. Like, we've seen Carson Beck throw interceptions at home. We've seen Marcel Reed struggle at home as well too. So it's like, what are we going to get here offensively? Colin Klein, Shannon Dawson, are you going to be able to get you guys set up for success early? 12th man is going to be a problem here, I think, for Miami. Like, that defense is solid. They're tied. I think they're tied for the lead for sacks. But on third down, they're not very solid. They give up third downs a lot, which is a problem. So I think it's just, what are they going to scheme up to let both of their athletes just catch the ball and go? Like, we know A&M, they do quick screens, they do quick passes to let their guys make guys miss. But Miami's got a guy named Tony who at the beginning of the year was lighting the world on fire, who if he catches the ball in space, he can get going quickly. He can make guys miss. So I think offensively, both of these teams, if they can just take care of the football and let their playmakers do their thing, this game's going to be a hell of a lot of fun. I kind of lean A&M in this spot just because we've seen the bad Carson Beck in the big football games. Granted, the trenches, I don't know where I lean in this one. I think both teams are very physical and very dominant. And like, yeah, the A&M stat is you want to lean that one because they lead the nation in sacks, but it's also this A&M offensive line, like to start the year, like they were plowing people over. Like Fletcher was running the ball extremely well. Beck was having time to throw it. So I think the trenches are where it's going to be determined if they're giving their guys time to throw. But also, I just think this is going to be a lot of fun because both teams offensively have so many weapons that if they get open in space, it's going to be a lot of fun to watch them go.
Yeah, one thing that sticks out to me in this matchup is you're going to hear a lot about A&M and their up front, what they can do on both sides of the ball. It's brought them the success this far, 11-win football team, obviously incredibly impressive in the SEC. But what they're not going to tell you is how good Miami's been on the defensive side of the ball up front. 7th ranked rushing defense in college football. And as balanced as that A&M attack has been, and Marcel Reed has that throwing ability, they've run the ball better than they've thrown the ball just slightly. You got to look at this matchup because Miami, 7th ranked defense in the country when it comes to against the rush, giving up less than 100 yards a game. A&M has to get the ground game going, whether that's Marcel Reed or any back that they've got, but they've got to establish that early because we've seen a bad version of Marcel Reed throwing those picks 50-50 balls. Miami has the athletes to make plays on those and make this a hell of a game and a nightmare in Aggie land. And that's really what sticks out to me in this matchup. Jake, where do you see it?
Reese highlighted it a little bit, but the specific matchup that I think everybody should be watching is Miami's offensive line versus Texas A&M's defensive line.
Yeah.
I mean, you have the absolute, what do they call them? The Maroon Goons for Texas A&M's D line versus probably the best offensive line in college football in Miami. I mean, draft picks will tell you that. The mock boards for the NFL draft will tell you that. So I think that's really, really interesting to watch because I don't want to kind of repeat everything Reese said, but it does come down to, can that really talented offensive line protect Carson Beck and keep him from turning the ball over? Like simple, like Jabroni's talking on a podcast, right? But turnovers is going to be the difference in this game because the one loss A&M had comes from a couple of bad turnovers out of Marcel Reed and feels like a couple of turnovers in the Louisville game is what lost them for Miami. So which quarterback's going to protect the ball more? I think it really is that simple. There are other things to look out for, but we're going to look at the box score Saturday night and who won the football game. And I'm almost willing to put all my money. It just came down to that stat.
Yeah, a lot of talk on the Miami offensive line, Texas A&M defensive line. I'd like to flip that as well. Like the A&M offensive line is one of the best in the country as well. And the Miami defensive front, we've seen wreak havoc on just about anybody that's walked into their building or elsewhere, right? So that's where my thing was. I think this is the best if you take both sides of the line of scrimmage for both teams, right? This is the best matchup we've seen yet to this point during the year, right? I wrote down some other ones. Indiana, Oregon was a really good one.
Notre Dame, Miami was about as high.
That's a good one too. Yeah, but Indiana, Oregon, and then Ohio State, Indiana. Although I would give the offensive line nod to Oregon and in some spots, but like this is one of the better matchups you're going to see along this 11 a.m. kick. Just kind of, it seems odd because Kyle Field
they'll
is
be
just
ready.
a different place at night. Yeah, I'm just saying like the atmosphere could have been kind of like had that college football.
Do you think they should have?
This was under the lights.
Do you think they didn't want to, lack of a better term, ESPN didn't want to blow their load too early? But like this game could be like Friday night. Like, wouldn't this one be the one to kick off the playoff? I mean,
I think the Norman one fits.
Friday night.
I think the Norman one fits with the rematch. You get that one done earlier.
And
I think they're trying to avoid the NFL, dude.
I mean,
I know, but they don't want to put the best game Friday night and then leave Saturday up for a bunch of average games. Is what.
I think they're
kick
putting
it off
the
with some
Saturday game
fireworks. Start the sparklers. Like blow their load. I think there is other terms out there.
We're live. You get live.
We highlight this on YouTube when I put the clips out there when it says, is this for kids or it's not for kids? I always highlight, this is not for kids. I think we're pretty kid friendly most of the time, but we got to get a little bit better.
If you're a kid watching this, don't ask what that means.
I just want to build off
what that means.
I want to build off JP's point quickly. Is you flash back, and yes, I understand it's week 1, but we have to understand what's available in the backfield for the other team that could have been in the spot, and that's Notre Dame. And you're talking about the Heisman runner-up, Jeremiah Love, 10 carries, 33 yards against this Miami front in week 1 of this season. The leading rusher on that Notre Dame team that night, Jadarian Price, 6 carries, 45 yards. Total in that game. Notre Dame, a running football team with a more running-based quarterback yet again in C.J. Carr, 28 carries, 93 yards total in the game. That's Miami's front. That's what they've been doing throughout the entire season. But if you flash back all the way then, even against one of the better running teams in college football, they handled them up front. So we got to see it. Marcel Reed's got to be able to throw the ball effectively. It's going to take that for A&M to do what they want to do in this one. Gentlemen, any other points before we go to picks?
Let's do it.
All right, let's open it up. Picks. A&M 3-point favorite at home in Aggieland. Will the 12th man be enough, or can Miami, a team that people debate should have been in, play spoiler in this one, Reese?
Hell of a ball game. I'm not going to take Carson Beck in this spot. Don't trust it. I'll take a home team. I think they'll get the ground game stagnant for sure, but I think you have Concepcion and Crave. Like those guys can make people miss. If they get a big play or two, Miami might be on that level to catch up, but I'll take A&M.
Yeah, put me on that team too. I think Miami, I think Carson Beck's going to make his mistakes. We talked about the prone mistakes we've seen from Marcel Reed trying to do too much. And some of that came last year and it carried over, but it's been better. Carson Beck's had his moments too, right? They lose that Louisville game because he throws 4 interceptions, and that was the game changer. I think they're going to force a couple of turnovers, A&M that is, and they're going to roll in this one. I got A&M covering the number pretty comfortably. I like them 30-16 at home against this Miami football team.
Ooh.
Jake.
I just can't. I can't take Miami and Bama. I can't take both road teams. So for that, I like A&M getting off the mat. They've had that Texas game to kind of sit and simmer for a little bit after missing the SEC title. I like them coming ready to play first thing Saturday morning.
JP.
3-10.
Yeah, I mean, I want to go Miami here, but you guys have made the point. Like, I'm not really to the point where I'm going to take Cristobal and I'm going to take back on the road in this spot. So I am going to take A&M, and it's going to be ugly. I think this is similar to the Oklahoma-Alabama matchup. Like, I don't expect both offenses to go high flying. I expect a couple quarterback mistakes. I expect some high-level defensive line play. And sometimes in college football, like I think we've seen it through the years, like good offense just beats good defense. Are we going to have that? Like they're playmakers available. Is that really going to happen in this one? I find it tougher to see.
Like to see a Mario Craver touchdown this week. That'd make me feel better about what all the breakdown I just gave, especially with his speed off the edge. All right, that's A&M in Miami. The 11 a.m. game on Saturday. We'll see who advances to the second round of that one. Let's move it down the line. Let's go to the next game, and that is Tulane headed to the Grove to take on Ole Miss. The other coach, Jake, rocks and points up the Tulane shirt as we are in support of the G5 and John Summerall's group, who's been pretty good all year, has some good wins on their schedule. A lot of teams writing them off, a lot of people writing them off because this matchup has happened before, gents. Ole Miss played this game earlier in the season back on September 20th and won the game 45-10. Yes, that number is real.
It was bigger than what the score indicated.
Yeah, that number's real, and it was a different team at that point, we're going to say. If you're going to give that credit to the other games, why not give that credit to Tulane rolling into the Grove this Saturday? Let's see. Can they get it done? Where do you see it, Jake?
Let's see what Jake Retzloff can pull out of the hat. Like when Tulane's been bad this year, it's been because the quarterback has not figured it out. 59 yards against Ole Miss the first time they met. I think he was benched, was the second or third quarter, and they brought in Brandon Sullivan. Let's prevent that from happening this time around. Well, one way you got to do it is you got to rely on the run game. A G5 team, big underdog on the road. You got to like play like a service academy almost at this point. I think that's kind of the blueprint for Tulane. You can't throw the ball a ton, but you got to be able to run the football, because if you can't run the football, these quick possessions are going to add up. I will say on the other side, I don't have a ton of hope in this Tulane offense, but I have more hope that the Tulane defense will have a better game plan coming back into this one back in Oxford. I mean, they got gashed right away the first time they met. They actually held Kewan Lacey to like under 100 yards. They held him pretty well, but it was Trinidad Chambliss's legs that really, really killed him. He rushed for over 112 yards. It was like 10 yards a pop, just big explosive scrambles. They've got to contain him, but they also can't lose tabs on Lacey either, because we've seen him just dissect defenses time and time again. So, I mean, I don't really even have a blueprint for the Tulane offense. It comes down to, can the defense in Tulane muck it up, play that phone booth football against one of the best in the SEC? We'll have to wait and see. A lot of people doubted this team. We previewed it a couple weeks ago. They doubted this team was able to play phone booth football with North Texas. I know the North Texas bodies are different than Ole Miss's body. I get all of that. But Tulane was able to show up in that one and kind of out-physical a high-flying, fast-paced North Texas team too. So maybe this Tulane defense they've seen it already. They've seen this offense already. There's a little bit of a distraction in Oxford with all the coaching carousel stuff that's been going on. Maybe Tulane comes out, get a turnover. If you're Tulane, you got to get a turnover first quarter, early second quarter. Like, just make it weird early if you want to stay in this one. I think that's what this really relies on. What if I told you guys this in August, that Jake Retzloff would be in the playoff and BYU wouldn't? Would you believe me?
We probably
It's
would what the
awesome.
hell are you talking about?
We wouldn't have known why he left BYU, but we'd have been like, it's possible.
After the scandal, I say Jake Retzloff will lead a team into the playoff, and BYU's not in the playoff. Like, you've been like, what the hell happened?
Yeah, I don't know if 2025 isn't a blueprint for what not to do off the field in college football. Like, I just keep it off campus and keep it in your pants. I mean, there was another one today with a coach in college football. So keep that in there. But that's a part of this game. And one thing that sticks out to me is in this matchup is the Tulane secondary. I think it really comes down to whether or not they can limit what Ole Miss wants to do through the air. And they haven't done that consistently against anybody all year long. That North Texas game was obviously a bright spot. They got the turnovers. They forced Mestemaker to make some throws in a closing pocket. So they've got to create that pressure again. However, as good as Mestemaker's been all season long, and I'm a North Texas guy through and through, Chambliss has been kind of on a different level for this Ole Miss team, especially with this leg. So him escaping the pocket, throwing the ball downfield is really where I see this Ole Miss team flying and getting to what they do want to do offensively. And this Tulane secondary giving up damn near 300 yards through the air a game is a high-flying red flag. And that wave's going to come crashing down if they do that any type of way in this matchup on the road. So I think Ole Miss is an obvious favorite, heavy favorite that JP's on for certain. And JP, am I saying anything wrong here? Where do you see it?
No, I think it's like Jake talked about, like, you have to slow down and that, like, there's a world, and like Tulane's been an average defense at best. This isn't one of the better units they've had over the last couple of years, but you just said, like, they are brutal against the pass and through the air. So, like, Ole Miss they run the ball first, right? They do that really well. Well, let's just say Tulane, is kind of in a spot where they're slowing it down. They're under 3 yards of carry, and they're kind of holding their own. What happens when Chambliss gets out of the pocket, hits a couple big ones, they run a couple play actions, dice, and then now we're throwing to run, and that's the worry, right? And so it is a little bit like also Jake said, like, you got to find a way to get a turnover. You got to find a way to, flip a field. Something's got to happen to go in your way and have things snowball down the right direction for you. For me, on the other end, like, you have to play I think this is an Ole Miss defense you can get. Like, it got away from them the first time around. You can get this defense. A lot of people have. So stay within yourself. Find a way to just make Retzloff play his best ball. And I also wouldn't handcuff him. I know you're playing with fire a little bit when you let him just kind of gunsling around. I don't think you can play scared. I don't think you can play slow. You got to let him be him. And if he wants to get out of the pocket and make a couple weird plays, it could pay off for you. And then what? Now you're sitting, maybe you're up 7-3 or 10-7 after the first quarter or something like that. And like, hey, it only takes a little bit of confidence, right? There's college kids involved in this. So they definitely get, the mindset in the right spot. You get yourself feeling a lot better, and confidence is all-time high for an entire sideline on the road. That goes a long ways in this spot. But yeah, like, going back to the Ole Miss offense, that's where I see the issue. Like, even if they slow down the run game, I don't see them slowing both sides of this down, because Chambliss hasn't had the issues of turning it over consistently. So best player on the field is on the Ole Miss offense, and I'm worried that even if they're slow to start running it, he'll find a way, Lacey, that is, to go late.
Reese.
Yeah, we forget Ole Miss scored touchdowns on 5 straight drives against Georgia. That's pretty good, and that was in Athens too, I believe. So, like,
pretty good.
That's a tough thing to do. So Tulane, heads up, if you can't get those stops early that Schaefer's talking about, uphill sledding for you. The big issue too is you keep talking about, Ole Miss, Lacey can run the ball, Trinidad can run the ball. You're going to stop the run. They're going to take off the top for you. Tulane defensively, I mean, they're at the top of the AAC, I think, in sacks and tackles for loss. Like, they've proven they can get back there. But, are they going to get back there consistently? And Ole Miss in this one, I think what will show you, maybe Ole Miss is like slow to start offensively in this game, but I think what will determine this game is in the first half, how is Tulane on third downs? If they're not able to extend drives and they have to continuously kick it away early out, they're getting Ole Miss is getting 3 and outs. They're letting them get 1 first down, they're putting it away. It's Ole Miss all the way. I just think offensively they're going to have a little bit too much going on for Tulane to try to keep up if Ole Miss is able to extend it early.
All right, let's pick it. JP, you giving us the hook in this one, 17.5?
Yeah, I was just playing based off what I saw today. If you guys saw any differently, I saw
17.5. 17.5 makes it tricky. So let's play that.
Hook's live.
Hook live. We'll play 17.
All right, 17.5 in favor of the Rebs. I'll go first in this one. I'm going to take Tulane. As much as I just talked them down in the passing game, I think they can do enough. And I mean, there's going to be early game jitters, especially without your head coach. You look over the sideline, it's different than what you've seen all season long if you're Ole Miss. Been a couple weeks since they played. Tulane played in a conference championship. I always give the upper hand early in these games to teams that have played more recent. It's like coming off a bye. You just got to get your foot underneath you a little bit. So I think Tulane can get the stops early enough to slow them down. Obviously, 17.5 is a big number. I think it ends at 17. I like Ole Miss in this one, 34-17 to beat the Green Wave. But I think it's going to be competitive for a lot longer than people think. But they're going to cover the number. So give me the Green Wave. Jake.
I think something to keep in mind if you're a Tulane backer too, like when they played Ole Miss, they had 3 straight weeks of beating Northwestern, a 2-point win on the road in Mobile against
a good Northwestern team
against South Al, and then beat Duke at home. And then they had to get off the mat again and play Ole Miss on the road. Like, so you've had a week off, a time to prepare. You've seen this team. So something to be positive for Tulane. That being said, I guess I'm an SEC homer at this point. I'm taking Ole Miss to just
wind that one up.
Yeah, win by 20. Just win by 20. I think they will
keep feel good and then just pooping on it.
But they'll keep it closer. I just don't trust Jake Retzlaff. Like I don't, and I feel like Ole Miss will
there's a lot of people out there. I imagine there's a lot of people back on campus at BYU that are saying the same thing.
Wow,
keep going.
Wow. Yeah, no, I don't trust it.
Kid show.
For 150 yards. I got Ole Miss to at least score, and Tulane, I'm nervous still. Yeah, they won't be able to keep up.
All right, Reese.
Hotty toddy. Don't think about it.
All right. Hotty toddy. Heavy on the Rebs.
Home team.
JP, I know you laid this one, but explain to people how confident you are.
Yeah, I got it like right when it came out at 16.5. It's basically down to, I just think that there's too much going. And I'm kind of taking the Lane Kiffin thing. If it would have been like a straight leave and like everything ended on good terms, I get it. Like then you're trying to fire yourself out and he's kind of in the door, out the door. But with him kind of feeling like they got screwed over in Oxford, I think there's another fire here. And so you're going to get a team who, they feel like they're underdogs in the whole thing. Maybe obviously not in this game, but I think you're going to get a fired up Rebel team here.
I guess it should be the way it is. As the guy who was scratching, clawing, fighting for G5 representatives in the college football playoff, I'm the only one on them. So 3-on-1 Ole Miss versus Tulane should be a fun matchup. Let's hope the G5 can make it competitive and shut casual college football fans up. But that is that one. This is a great time to plug our great partner over at No Rivals, as Ole Miss and Tulane is available. ShopNoRivals.com. Use the code PTFS at checkout for free shipping on your order. Check out the new Americano collection, the second version of the Espresso. Full brown hat, perfect for those neutral outfits you're going to be rocking during the holiday season. A popped white logo available both in Ole Miss and Tulane. Other college football playoff first round contenders available are Miami. It's not, sorry, Texas A&M, James Madison, Ole Miss, Tulane, and Oklahoma, right? So that covers.
No, first
rounders.
First round, but yeah, that too.
I was saying them too, but yeah, I was gonna say it too, but it's first round. Yeah.
A&M has some awesome new ones out there, some Aggie designs. Check them out. ShopNoRivals.com. Use the code PTFS at checkout for free shipping on the best hats in collegiate sports. All right, let's talk the last matchup of the first round of the college football playoff, and that is the Dukes headed on the road to Eugene to take on Dante Moore and the Oregon offense. Gentlemen, people want to talk about the Oregon offense, but this group's been damn good defensively all year long, and they're a heavy favorite because of it. Oregon stands at 11-1. James Madison, the champions of the Sun Belt Conference, stand at 12-1. Sneak in the college football playoff, grab the 12 seed. Where do you see this matchup? Massive spread. JP, break it down for us.
Yeah, I'm going to start with Oregon having the football here, and I think that there is a real confidence within this James Madison team and saying, I feel like we have the front, and I feel like we have the guys defensively to kind of play and play the bully ball with you. Problem being that Oregon doesn't care if you slow them down for 2 quarters. They're going to stay on it, and they just lean on you until you break, basically, is what this Dan Lanning team's done. They've done it to Big Ten teams. They've done it to teams all over the country in some spots. And that's the part you have to hang on for 4 quarters. And if they want to continue in the run game, even if it's not hitting early, you have to continue that on. Adding into that, you can't commit. I don't think that this is what they'll do necessarily, but you may have to find yourself in the situation, commit extra guys to the box to stop the run. Well, now I got multiple pieces on the outside with Oregon that they're comfortable winning one-on-ones with, right? And just about any corner in the country, Dan Lane's going to take his chances with his guys on that side of things. And so if you're James Madison, I think it's a little bit of slow the run game down, understand that they're going to keep on it, even if it's, third quarter, they got 3 yards of carry, haven't hit 100 as a team yet. They're going to stay on it the entire time. And then somehow you have to find a way to get to Dante Moore. And when you get there, contain him and bring him down, not let him leak out of the pocket and make plays downfield with, really good receivers. And I think Kenyon Sadiq's okay in this. I haven't seen anything officially. He's still banged up. I think he got banged up.
We gonna see him?
Yeah, I hope.
I doubt it.
Kind of, yeah. Sadiq left that Washington game, and he's been dealing with some stuff anyway throughout the entire year. So I think we get our reports either tonight or tomorrow for those. And so, yeah, I think if you're James Madison, you got to understand that you're going to get hit in the face 10,000 times. And you got to get up 10,001 and then make a play on top of that, right? Flip it to the other side, just spread them out a little bit. If you can maybe have a chance here with Barnett, if you find the run game working a little bit, get a little more creative, pull anything you have out of the hat and make plays. This is an Oregon team defensively who's a young secondary. Maybe there's a way to get them, playing a little eye candy in some spots and get them looking a different way and hit them over the top on the back end. I will say that when Barnett's good, it's got to be high completion, though. It can't be like this 50% every once in a while we saw from him and he still had 250 or 240 through the air. It's got to be high completion because the sticks have to move consistently. So run game's good. The defensive front from Oregon's shown their ability. Honestly, really good running teams have got them, but they haven't hit continuous explosives on him. So maybe you get one or two and that works, really well for you. But I think you just kind of work offensively with Bob Chesney in that group and get a little eye candy going. Pull something out of the hat because if this thing's tight late, Dan Lanning will be the first to do it. So might as well beat him to the punch.
Yeah, I feel like one of the main highlights in this game is you talk about Alonzo Barnett and what he can do with his legs and what he's done all season long. And that's 35 total touchdowns he's accounted for on this team, 21 through the air, 14 on the ground. And he's really put this team on his back to lead them to the dominant style wins they've gotten. The defense has been good in the Sun Belt, but this is a different beast you're facing here on the offensive side with Oregon. But then you look at Oregon, and they faced running quarterbacks before. Most recently, when they played Washington during rivalry week, we talked about one of the more impressive young running quarterbacks in Desmond Williams Jr., and they limited him throughout that game. And you saw what they did to that Washington offense. A lot of people see it this way in this game with James Madison offense. Can they get enough going? I don't know. I really don't think that this is the spot for James Madison to roll in Eugene. And on the Oregon side of things, just in the whole of the season, is you look at their one loss, and it came quite a few weeks ago. I believe it's week 7 or week 8. They lose at home to the number 1 team in the country. That's a Big Ten champion and a first-round bye and the number 1 overall seed in the college football playoff. And they could have won that game, and they made their mistakes, and they've learned from it. And I think it's also a massive benefit. If you're an Oregon fan, how excited are you to play in round 1 this year? You saw what an extra bye week did for your team last year against a steamrolling Ohio State team that went on to win a national title. This is a great opportunity to get back in the swing of things against a defense who has been good, but like I said, has not faced a beast like this offense and how consistent they want to be. And like JP said, they're going to pound away at you and get what they want to do going, no matter what. And so that's where I see a Dan Lanning's group. I think they're going to take advantage of having a G5 team come in to their house in the first round and really get things going to try and make a playoff run. Reese?
Yeah, JB mentioned it, but if you're trying to, get elusive and get crazy with stuff, I think you have to get the ground game going first, because that's going to get your third level guys to bite down. So that way maybe you can take something outside the numbers or over the top. But I think Barnett has to be, it's hard to be perfect, but you have to be perfect in this game, especially if the number being what it is also because just that Oregon offense, they're going to come at you. They're one of the most balanced attacks in the entire country. And then going into Autzen, that Ohio State team that won it last year went into Oregon last year and lost. It is a difficult place to go and play, especially if you're going to have issues early on. Like I just talked about in the last game, if JMU isn't consistently being able to convert third downs early on, and you can't get chunk plays on first and second down, and Barnett is in third and long and obvious predictable passing plays, like Tosh Lupoi, he's about to go be a head coach for a reason, because he is a great defensive coordinator. I don't think they're scared of the weapons they have on the outside. I think they're let's fill up the box and make these guys beat us here. And if they beat us here, then, hats off to them. But I think Oregon defensively is just going to have a little bit too much for them. If JMU is unsuccessful in getting the run game going, it's just going to be an uphill battle for 4 quarters.
Jake.
Yeah, what kind of Dan Lanning do we get here? Do we get like super big motivator, like murder this team, Dan Lanning?
White canvas, free paint. Yeah.
Yeah. Is this like
I think he's psycho all the time, every day, all day.
Yeah.
He's anything else.
Yeah.
There's some snowballs in that locker room, it seems like.
Part of me feels like, is there a respect factor here where they just try to kind of get by and slow it down and they can run whenever they want to and they get by and just win 28-3, something like that? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. I'm excited to see it. I do think home field plays a massive factor in this one. I think Reese highlighted. I think Autzen Stadium is legit. I do think it is top 5 in college football as far as impact goes. The Alonzo Barnett thing gets a little bit, I think, skewed and overstated about the Louisville game where he struggled to throw the football and he missed a lot of critical throws. I remind a lot of people that was the second game of the year. People didn't even think he was going to come back to play in September, let alone October. Like, he played the whole year, and the talk all offseason was, will he come back by October? I don't know. Like, a lot of people thought Matthew Sluka was going to come in and basically take the reins halfway through the year. But
as long as he gets his check, Matthew's sticking around. As long as he gets his check, not again.
Fun fact, he led the team in rushing against Louisville in September. I love Wayne Knight. I think he's a really good back. I think this defense for James Madison is legit. And I get it. Like, the bodies you're going to see for Oregon is something you will have never seen. And you can't replicate that in practice either.
Yeah.
But I do think this James Madison defense is really, really good. Statistically, it's top 5 in college football. So we'll see what they can throw at them. We'll see if it can play. I thought they held their own against Louisville. They held Brown to his 100 yards, but guys, he had like a 70-yard rush. Like, other than that, he was running for like 2 or 3 yards a carry. And Isaac Brown's a really good back. So maybe there's a thing there where they can try and get after the run game for Oregon just a little bit, and then Oregon kind of just methodically is slow to start, and James Madison just sticks around a little bit. Can't afford any turnovers. Got to play clean. Reese mentioned it. You got to play perfect. I just think Alonzo Barnett from November is a much better quarterback than people give him credit for. And you just haven't been paying attention to it, because I get it. Like, nobody thought this team was going to be in the playoff in mid-November when I was pounding the pavement saying that this team was my G5 rep. And now they're here. And nobody's been talking about them. It's been Tulane or the American team all year. And I think James Madison's got something to show for it, at least a little bit, to just be somewhat competitive in this game.
Don't back up from it. You said they got something for him.
What, you think I was laying it up for them to?
He's taking them.
We've seen you do it before, Jake. Let's not act like we haven't seen you do that before. But you have been the JMU guy all year long. So let's go to picks in this one. 21, and we are going to play the hook 21.5 in favor of the Ducks. You think they cover the number? Who wins the game? Do they cover the number, Jake? I guess should be the answer.
Yeah, if you give me the hook, why not? Yeah, I've gone this far with the Dukes. We'll take them.
Yes,
we'll take them.
I'll line it.
I'd love to see something.
Dukes minus 2.5, please.
I mean, do we really think if James Madison goes out there, if James Madison goes out there and loses by 14 or 10, do you think the conversation is going to be any different nationally? I don't think so. So
they lose by 30, they lose by 14. It'll be the same.
If they lose the game, you're exactly right.
I know it pisses me off. It shouldn't be that way, because we had much more than 14-point games last year in the first round. So what are we expecting?
You're using rational thoughts. You can't do that. Okay.
They take their hats off when they go in the room.
I really like the naive college football fan in me really wants to have JMU and go out there and put up a fight. And I've just been backing this defense the whole time. I really do think they're that good, but yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll see if I know anything of what I'm talking about.
I took the G5 team the first time around. Not this time. I think there's too much offensive firepower for Oregon. I think that they're going to get done what they want to do. And I think last year is going to stem a lot of get up and go. And no matter who the opponent is, they're going to get their points, because they had it happen to them last year. So I think Oregon wins and rolls in this one 45-20. That's granted just over the number that they're pick to win
Right.
by. So 45 to
The
20, I still think JMU gets their thing done, but I like Oregon at home in this spot, and I think that we're going to see a couple of big-time plays from that Oregon offense.
Do you think there's like a welcome to the Big Ten moment from Dan Lanning to Bob Chesney here? Like just punching him square in the mouth early and be like,
to beat up on UCLA.
That's what I'm saying. Like, hey, welcome to the Big Ten.
He's got Nico.
Back to the Pac-12. I've heard some rumors, but there's definitely an opportunity here for that, and so we will see because Bob Chesney is coaching in the Big Ten at UCLA next season. JP, your pick.
Yeah, I have Oregon here. I think there's too much. Yeah,
all you love is the big brands. You're the problem. You are the problem
guy. If this was the SEC,
like these matchups.
It's a safety issue.
If this is James Madison, Ole Miss, I'm talking to you pretty heavy that like this has a better shot.
They should have done that. I'm so mad that they created so many rematches.
The first round matchups were.
Yeah, I don't like this matchup for them. I think again, I talked about it like. You're going to get leaned on nonstop. And at some point, this dam's going to break or something's going to happen. And that's when Oregon kind of feasts a little bit. So I like Oregon.
Reese, close it out, baby.
I'm actually right with my boy Shape. I kind of like the idea of Oregon doesn't need to blow them out to win this football game. Like if they get up by 20, like I don't think they go, let's go put 30 on them.
24.
They got a Texas Tech team in a week.
Well, then we're going to go get a field goal at the end.
A week and a half, whatever.
Late field goal to cover. But I don't think Oregon, like, yes, they want to win. Obviously, I think they're going to win. But I just don't think they're going to cover the number. I think James Madison will go out there, be competitive. They'll get some stops early, but I just think Oregon doesn't maybe want to put up 35 on them. So
did Boise didn't cover last year? Did they? Did anybody remember?
No.
I know that's pulling something out, and it was a lot closer because everybody thought like Boise was the best G5 team in the last decade. I get that, but Boise was in the
Cincinnati team.
Boise was a couple of bad Madison throws from being in the football game.
I mean, that Boise State team almost
kind of
worked last year too early on. Like worked week 2, didn't they?
It was one of the better first round matchups last year. I'll say that. Like no matter what the final score was, competitive wise, it was definitely up there. Yeah, second round, and that even puts more icing on the cake that these G5 teams do have the space to compete. So, all right, that is
one more thing on the playoff.
Go ahead.
Hit it.
Like if you're a fan or you are, someone who's taking in college football media or getting ready to watch these playoff games,
like and subscribe.
Avoid the toxic world. Let's watch some football. Let's let these things play out. Don't just take the score for what the score is. Watch the game, and if you want to have a serious opinion about something, pay attention to it and talk about it without just being like as a matter of fact all the time. Like let's talk about it. Let's enjoy some football. We're in a playoff spot here.
Talk about it before the game. Don't tweet at us after the game. Talk to us before the game.
Yeah, we can get into another conversation for another day. I think if you leave the G5 teams out, I think people still don't. The ratings will. I don't think they care as much.
It's a great point by JP though, because we know we're going to get that after the first 2 touchdowns and Oregon's up 14-0 towards the end of the first quarter. Oh, there it is. Here comes Notre Dame fans. Here comes all these fans that just missed the playoff. Why do we have this? They need to have their own league, and it's just sickening because you know that they haven't watched any of these teams. They haven't watched the Tulane game since that Ole Miss game, and that was just the highlights that popped through because it was on ESPN Plus. Like the kids and the people that come out and say that just do not watch the sport and watch how good these football teams are and how deserving they are of these spots. But I agree. I can't wait for Paul Feinbaum to come on at halftime when it's a 20-point game and just bitch about how there's not 11 SEC teams in the college football playoffs. So it's just a riveting experience as a fan.
Boy got big ears.
Yeah. Yeah, no, come on the show, Paul. We can have a conversation. But all right, let's go on to bowl season. That's what you're here for. You're not going to get this type of coverage anywhere else in bowl season besides Play the Fight Song. So make sure you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Let's break down these bowl games. There's a crap load of games before the next time we'll talk to you. I'm going to go down the list. These are the games. There's some shown on the screen. There are more eligible for these categories we are going to pick from. Starting off, Missouri State meets Arkansas State in the Xbox Bowl on Thursday, the 18th. Kennesaw State meets Western Michigan in the Myrtle Beach Bowl on the 19th. Memphis meets NC State in the Gasparilla Bowl on the 19th. Washington State meets Utah State in the famous Idaho Potato Bowl over on Monday on the 22nd. Toledo and Louisville meet up in the Boca Raton Bowl on the 23rd. Western Kentucky and Southern Miss meet up in the New Orleans Bowl on the 23rd as well. UNLV and Ohio close out the 23rd in the Scooters Coffee Frisco Bowl. And then Cal meets Hawaii. And, of course, the Hawaii Bowl back on the 20th. Is that on Christmas Eve? You missed the second date there. Is that the 23rd or 24th?
24th.
That's right.
Christmas Eve. Sorry, my bad.
7 p.m. on that one. But we're going to break these down, not game by game, but category by category. Let's lead it off with the most underrated game from the slate I just gave you. Some are on the screen, some are off. Where do you see it? What game sticks out to you as an underrated game that people should watch, JP?
Yeah, I have UNLV Ohio here. Obviously with Ohio news a little bit today, it got a little more strange. Now you're without a head coach, not because he's taking a new job, but apparently broke a rule around booze around the office. That's a real thing that they have there. But
let a man have fun.
It's exactly what it is. I'm reading the report right now.
Yeah, no, he had
distribution.
I think he had a bottle of Tito's in his desk drawer.
Well, yeah, I will say I have a inside source, and there's much more to that story. But we'll leave that as is. I've heard it's closer to the Sharon Moore situation than just a bottle of alcohol in his thing. So I'm just
saying, if a man can't have a glass of whiskey after coaching a good football practice, I don't know what we're doing in America anymore.
What's the problem? You interview Sam Pittman because he's fat. He can drink beer.
Cold beer.
But Smitty can't have a
cold beer.
What's the problem here?
I'm going to have many cold beers watching all these.
Mike Gundy was down in Miller's after practice for sure.
God, on his way home.
Get back on track. So
football.
For this one here, like this is a UNLV team with Mullen that's kind of high flying, not great defensively, give up a lot of points, and you're going to go play a team whose identity is to slow everything down and really put yourself in a position where Parker Navarro is going to have to make a lot of the plays. This line keeps slipping in UNLV's favor a little farther down the road here, but I mean, maybe there's something here that I think that we're missing. You're going to take a team that's know their identity, whether it was Albin, whether it was who they had there this year, most of the year. I cannot think of his name for some reason. And we get into a spot here where they're going to go play somebody polar opposite. We've seen this a million times in bowl games. And sometimes these slow teams suck you into the game, and you got to play their style of football for the whole 60 minutes. So I think it's underrated because Ohio's better than what their record showed to this point. Not a lot of eyes on UNLV most of the year, just their couple losses to Boise in some spots. So that's the one I wanted to highlight.
I'll highlight another MAC team in another game, and that's how about the conference champions meeting up? Kennesaw State meeting Western Michigan. That's two conference champions meeting up in the Myrtle Beach Bowl just here in a few days.
Great game.
Got to watch these. There's some offensive weapons on Kennesaw State. I think there's a little bit more of a edge to Kennesaw State to want to win this game, being in the FBS as early as they are in their lifespan. But Western Michigan's a good football team. They played a Miami, Ohio team that was playing in their third straight MAC title just a couple weeks ago, and they really handled that game and looked like a damn good football team out of the MAC. So I think this one's going to be a matchup you will not want to miss. But I like Kennesaw State and their weapons. I think there's a lot on the table here, and I think the Owls can get it done. Jake, did I steal your pick?
Yeah, you did, but I'm opposite. I think the opposite of you. I really love this Western Michigan team. I don't think anybody can block. I don't think anybody can block them within the G5 realm of things. The Diamond Tucker is just an absolute stud. It is my underrated game. 10 o'clock Friday. Like I said, I'm on Christmas break already, so I'm turning the TV on right away Friday morning.
Everybody give a round of applause to Jake.
I'm just telling you. I'm just telling you. Sorry to rub it in.
Of you, man.
I've been on vacation.
Sorry to rub it in, but that's how I'm starting my break is out in Myrtle Beach.
What flavor is your margarita already?
Yeah, that's true. I got to think about that. I mean, game in Conway, it's Friday morning. Might as well just start making a margarita to start my
cocktail at 10 a.m. Ain't nobody getting hurt from that.
Reese, what do you got for an underrated game for us?
I went with Memphis and NC State, the Gasparilla Bowl. I just think you got not a lot of opt-outs. These are two solid programs year in and year out. Brendan Lewis is still going to be playing this game. Memphis offensively, they're fifth in the nation when they get in the red zone, so expect some points. And then, Memphis is all coming off of a 3-game skid where you played a Tulane team very well. You lost by 6. You lost to ECU, who their quarterback is now in the portal, which JP tweeted about this guy, but this guy could go somewhere very good next year. And then you lost to a Navy team who we just saw what they did to my Army last week too. So the 3-game skid, so they're not playing the best football right now. Versus on the other side, NC State is coming off winning 3 out of 4 to get themselves to a bowl game. And then CJ Bailey, Hollywood Smothers, Jolie Anderson, like all these guys are still going to play for NC State. It's a solid offense that's kind of coming into their own with a very good head coach. JP knows all about this guy. Like this is one here where I just think it's two solid programs, and you kind of add in the Memphis and losing their head coach to go to Arkansas in this too. It's like, what are we going to get out of this Memphis team? Are we going to get kind of a fired up for our interim? Like, do we want to go play for this guy and get one last game? Because it's also a program too where these guys, Memphis is probably not their final stay. They want to go get some extra film out there to see if they can go somewhere else next year too. So I think this is going to be a good football game.
All right, let's go to your personal favorite game of the week. And this can be for a variety of reasons. It doesn't have to be a great game. It could just be a nostalgia play. I love this bowl game. I love the location. I love what time it's at. Doesn't matter. Why do you love it? Tell us what game it is, JP.
Missouri State, Arkansas State.
The Xbox.
We've seen a birth of a new rivalry, Armageddon here. They created a trophy that will take it to the bowl game along with the Xbox Bowl trophy. They'll have the Armageddon trophy.
Great trophy, by the way.
Xbox great. Bowl, whoever came up with
MVPs.
That really
did you see the MVPs? They say achievement unlocked.
The achievement unlocked.
Achievement unlocked. Banner.
You know where they're you guys know where they're playing this at? They're playing that Cowboy. Is it the Cowboys practice facility? Is that what that thing is? You know what I'm talking about? Where they play like some of the Texas State Championship games in Frisco. Mm-hmm. That little mini Cowboy stadium. It looks exactly. It's like a smaller replica of Jerry's World. It's a nice little stadium. I think it's gonna be.
GA's in the chat. He's a Texas guy.
They played the FCS.
Hey, what the hell?
They the FCS title games forever. I thought that was where.
No, that's in
that was in Frisco.
Yeah, that's at the soccer stadium.
Okay.
No, they're not doing it there.
But for this one, we're gonna get Corey Rucker, one of the better G5 receivers in the country. We're gonna get Jalen Rayner, and then Missouri State. Like, I think you really wish Beard was still around for this. But obviously to take his job. Yeah, like you just had a really cool story in a team that nobody expected to win more than 4 games, and they get a go chance to, win a bowl game. And that's really cool. And I think a lot of the a veteran quarterback there for him, and there's a lot of excitement for them in a birth of a new rivalry. And you kind of just, you add on to this. I think this is a lot of fun because it's 2 talented teams and it's a 1-point spread. So, I mean, what kind of Arkansas State team are you going to get, though, right? Are we going to get the one that makes a lot of mistakes and does weird things, or we're going to do the one who just outskill classes a lot of teams? Because they did that in the Sun Belt a couple times. When they lose, they look pretty ugly. When they win, they look like one of the better teams in the belt.
All right, Jake, your personal favorite game of bowl season this week?
I think everybody probably knows where I'm going with this if you listen every week, or at least I've been highlighting it the last couple of weeks. Like Christmas Eve, like this is the best present I'm going to get on Christmas Eve. The Hawaii Bowl. Like, could you think of anything better?
Like,
oh yes.
Cal's got to go across the pond to the island and play a home game against Hawaii, who also beat Stanford in week 0, if you guys remember that. Jaron Kiave, Saga Putele versus Micah Alahado. Just 2 awesome
Great
names.
job, Jake.
Awesome named quarterbacks, 2 great quarterbacks, young quarterbacks. JKS says he's staying. I think this is like a big momentum swing for Cal going into next year. Changing head coaches, they let Will Cox go. I think there's a lot of momentum to be built with Cal, but also with Timmy Chang in Hawaii. Like, this was the year that Hawaii fans were finally wanting to get back to kind of the old Colt Brennan days. It wasn't nearly as crazy as that, but I mean, to get 7 wins, they can go for 8 for this game, and it's going to be a lot of fun to watch. Cal, runs the Cal is really susceptible to the run, but also Hawaii doesn't run the football very well. So I don't really know. I just expect a lot of throws to be in this game. Like, if you had to take a number on it, probably 70 or 80 passes attempted.
Is this the only lefty quarterback?
I didn't even think about that one.
Think about that.
Shout out to the lefties. Yes.
Yeah. Wow.
That would, it would be
hard flying Hawaiian Christmas Eve.
How many ball knowers out there knew that one, huh?
That was almost an autistic stat. It was so damn good. 2 left-handed quarterbacks. How do you even remember that? But no, this game is also my pick too. I think there's nothing that cures seasonal depression in Midwest like watching December 24th sunshine in the Hawaii Bowl and watching the Rainbow Warriors
still
go
is 75 and warm.
Yeah. Nothing cures.
I don't think people in Hawaii celebrate
go to the
Christmas
beach
that much.
Like, that's just a few 4 short months away.
You say you don't know if people in Hawaii celebrate Christmas?
Yeah, it's Just
Come on,
sunshine
man.
all the time.
Dude, there's just no
It's 80
snow
degrees-
there.
80
Shade.
degrees, no snow. It's not even a Christmas feel. They're just gonna go watch a football game. This is
Yeah,
just
but
another.
that's
another
their
Saturday.
normal for them. That's
This is
their
a
normal
college
for them.
football.
Wait,
This is a college
wait.
football Saturday for them.
Do you
So they
think, like,
don't
people in
do it in
California
Florida,
dial it back?
Arizona.
Yeah.
No, not really. They don't.
No.
You
They
gotta
don't
have snow.
If it don't snow there, it's not Christmas.
Actually,
listen,
Jake,
we
they
took
changed the
blind
lyrics
people
instead
sleep
of
less.
snow.
we
Yeah.
took a family vacation over Christmas once to Florida, and it was like, this ain't Christmas. There's no snow around.
That doesn't mean
Where's
they don't
Santa supposed to
sleep.
land his sleigh? It's literally
Yeah, come
impossible. There's
on.
no snow. We can't land a sleigh.
Is it gonna land in the ocean? I mean,
It's gonna be foggy.
I'm
Reindeers
sure
don't
they
need to be out
celebrate it the
there.
same, man. Like, except they can go outside and use their new toys if they're children, and we have to hopefully put it together, and maybe you can take it out in a few months. Reese,
Yeah.
your favorite personal
Over
game of the week?
Over under
Go ahead,
3.5 times they play Mele Kalikimaka during this Hawaii Bowl. Yeah.
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 The Christmas
At a
song.
Christmas
Over.
vacation.
I hope so.
Over.
Every
I'll be
Christmas.
playing it in my house.
Yeah.
Just leading, like on the way home from grandma's. Can I play a song, guys? And just put it on repeat the whole
Trying to get
time.
in the mood.
Shout out
Jason
Grandma's
play the
favorite.
Hawaii fight song.
Yeah.
Reese?
I'm gonna go with the famous Idaho Potato Bowl. How about
Great game.
Wazoo and Utah State? Schaefer's former head coach, leaving these guys to go to Iowa State now. But this Wazoo team, I mean, you kind of were dismantled going into this season, came back in, you were able to put a good season together. I mean, Utah State also is very like a high flying offense. They're averaging 31 points a game. Like was it Bryson Barnes over 2,800 or 2,600 yards this year, 18 touchdowns. Then Utah State defensively, they're able to take the ball away very well compared to Wazoo's -8 turnover margin, which is not very good. So like that's kind of something you got to pay attention to if you're Wazoo going there trying to get this football game. But yeah, my eyes went to this one just because it's Idaho and it's a potato bowl, and like those funny words just go together.
On the turf, baby. Bring it on the blue turf. We'll settle it there. That is an awesome game. Let's go to the next category, and that is a fun fact about a bowl game that's happening within the next week, and that can be anything. Just tell us something crazy. Could be an opt-out, could be a transfer story, could be a coach story, could be something about the actual bowl game itself, whatever that may be. Just share a fun fact, something about one of the bowl games upcoming, JP.
Yeah, I just had Dave Doran's 0-5 in his last 5 with NC State in bowl games, right? And now you're in a situation where you play, I think if you like Silverfield, if Silverfield's still there, you like this Memphis team a little bit more with the departures and differences. It changes. But it's a stat here that guy builds programs. They win a lot of games they shouldn't. Skidded in the last couple of years, but they haven't been winning the bowl games. So just something to pay attention to.
I will go to mine next, and mine is more of a bowl game as a whole, including a team, and spinned off into a trivia question because I'm a man of the people in the show. So this is a trivia question to the floor. Whoever can answer it first or in the chat. Hawaii is 5-4 all time in their Hawaii bowl games since its founding in 2002. Their last win came in 2019 against a former G5 team with a bad NFL quarterback that is still floating around the NFL. What team did they beat, and who was that quarterback is my trivia question. Former G5 team with an active NFL quarterback, not starting, but has started in his time in the NFL and was very good the next year after.
BYU.
Zach Wilson and BYU was the last time Hawaii lost.
Did you know
they won that game? Sorry, they beat Zach Wilson and BYU in the 2019.
Another trivia about the Hawaii Bowl. SMU's first bowl game win back after the death penalty, that whole, that span after, the death penalty in the 80s. They didn't win a bowl game until they won the Hawaii Bowl, actually. And I believe early 2010s, like Emmanuel Sanders type stuff.
It's like a massive shootout, too,
cool,
if I remember seeing that correct. It was
like
a 51-45 overtime game. Yeah, Hawaii Bowl, very good memories from that one. All right, fun fact from you, Reese.
This is one where it's kind of more recent, but coaches usually leave this time of year. I would think interim coaches, like kind of filling in for this last game at the end of the year, they wouldn't be as successful. But interim coaches are actually, it's right around. I mean, they don't winning, but it's 30-31.
Wow,
since like 2005 or 6, what it was is that it's like since your coach leaves, 30-31.
Nebraska's been in those. Nebraska's part of that stat for sure.
There's a lot of them too.
Yeah.
Mine ties in. Speaking of that, mine ties in with JP's and I guess Reese's as well. Memphis has the current longest bowl streak of all the G5 teams. They're 7th all time, I believe. Do you know how many bowls they've been to in a row?
11.
12.
12 it is.
There you go.
Oh,
12 it
No
is.
idea.
So, yeah, Louisiana, who's ironic
Shout out FedEx.
right now, is going for, I think they're playing their 8th.
Look, I need a
straight
trivia
bowl game.
question now.
So, no, that was
Hey,
a good,
we should-
but that's a good stat
Off
though.
season's
Reese.
coming.
Because
Because
there's-
there's just around the corner. And
Because
we can
there's
have
a lot
trivia,
of-
trivia.
There's a lot of factors. Like when I think of interim coaches when I'm playing these bowl games, I'm like, is that going to be
Yeah.
a big factor in this? Sometimes they're both interim coaches, but like you're like, yeah, what's the stat? But now I know the stat. Now
I'll give you a
it really
fun,
doesn't matter that much.
This should be an easy one, but just a Nebraska-based one because we have Nebraska fans that watch the show. Nebraska won a bowl game with an interim coach that then became their head coach in Bo Pelini. What team did he beat in the Gator Bowl? And it's just a shocking one. Once you hear it, you're going to be like, that team was playing in the Gator Bowl in
What's your
2010?
Gator Bowl tie-in?
I was trying to think of like
SEC?
who's
It'd be
Florida.
ACC.
it had to
ACC.
be on the ACC. Virginia
Clemson.
Tech.
It was Clemson.
Clemson.
Nebraska beat Clemson with Bo Pelini as the acting head coach in that game right before he
They knew he
came.
was the guy.
They knew it.
Just other bowl games we haven't mentioned yet. The Louisville piece of all this, I think it's an intriguing
Toledo, yeah.
get on who they play. Like,
Another interim coach.
yeah, another interim coach with Candle taking the UConn job, and I also got my gear on.
DeVille,
but
baby. Supporting Dylan Raiola.
It's kind of a disappointing year for them, and now they're going to play a Toledo team who kind of had a disappointing year. They're losing their coach. That number's kind of grown since the news. What's the real pull here for either team to really show up? I think that's the first one we've seen to date that you're kind of wondering the motivation factor of everything. But don't sleep on the Toledo team. I think that there are some things here that could scare Louisville along the lines of scrimmage, and I don't think Gleason's anything to just bat your eyes at either. On the offensive side, this Louisville team either gets after you along the defensive line or they give up things. That's kind of how they've gone. through the whole
JP is
year.
the Louisville quarterback whisperer. This is a confirmed thing.
Hey, I got to make a TikTok.
He nailed Miller Moss
kinda had a
last year
thought.
on that pick. So
Thank God.
I
for
finished
on
that.
pick.
I finished it. I finished.
All right, let's go to college game day style picks in this one. This is not against the spread. This is straight up who wins the bowl game. There's a decent amount of closer spreads within these games. So let's pick them.
Give me straight up, and then I'll get your against the spreads.
They usually go hand. They usually go hand in hand for me, honestly. As far
Yeah.
but yeah.
All right, let's kick it
that's
off
fine.
with the first bowl game up, and that's the Xbox Bowl. Missouri State, Arkansas State. Who wins it and why? Jake. We'll go down the line. Jake, JP, myself, Reese.
JP highlighted a good quarterback in this one, Jalen Rayner. The other one he forgot to mention was Jacob Clark, who's had a historic career at Missouri State. I think he leads the Bears on top one more time. I think Mo State gets its first ever bowl victory.
I'll take Arkansas State.
Fire him up.
Arkansas State, straight up.
Yeah.
I'll take
On
Missouri
the
State.
field.
I'm with Jake on this one. I like senior quarterback Jacob Clark.
He's in the
been good
barn.
down the stretch for this team. Senior year, first year in the FBS, you get an opportunity to win a bowl game. I think this means a lot for their program. Give me Missouri State to win this one.
Yeah, I'm gonna take Arkansas State in this spot too. Gonna lean in this. I'm just here. Don't think too much about it. Missouri State, your coach is leaving, all those things. Give me Arkansas State.
Next game, Kennesaw State, Western Michigan, the matchup of the conference champions in the Myrtle Beach Bowl. Who wins it? Why, Jake?
I don't think Kennesaw can block Western Michigan. I said that, so I'm going to take the Broncos.
Yeah, I'm gonna echo that. Exact same reasoning.
Yeah, I like Western Michigan as well. I like the matchup here in the running game. I think Brock Lowry, what he's done on the ground this year has kind of gone under the radar in college football.
Yeah.
14 rushing touchdowns for the Western Michigan quarterback. I think he
Love
gets a
his nails
couple in this
quarterback.
one, and they take care of business. So Western Michigan for me.
I'll go the other way. I'll take the Owls here. I
Who do you-
think
Oh, we're
with
screwed.
Kennesaw State, 400
Our
yards
ATS
per game
champion
you're
from
averaging
Idaho.
here. Western Michigan, yes, you are a very solid defense, but I don't think you're facing an offense kind of like Kennesaw State has
Not
had so far
so
this year.
fast, my
So
friends.
I'll go Kennesaw State.
All right, Memphis, NC State in the Union Home Mortgage Gasparilla Bowl. Who wins it? Why, Jake?
Man, JP threw out that stat about Dave Doran. Now I'm like, ugh, I don't know.
Doofer.
but I think this is a good spot for NC State. I like them to win this football game. I think this one's going to be high scoring, and I don't think Memphis is. While they're good offensively, I don't think they can keep up with what NC State could throw at them.
Yeah, as the season's gone, I think NC State's gotten better. I'll take CJ Bailey and the boys here. Break that streak, Dave.
Yeah, I'm going to go. This is why you watch the show. You watch it you learn, you listen, you learn a little fun fact, and all of a sudden you talk about it in the office tomorrow. Dave Dorn sounds like he's due. Give me NC State to win this game in the Gasparilla Bowl.
Yeah, I mentioned before this was my favorite game or underrated game. Memphis has dropped 3 in a row. NC State's won 3 of 4. I think it's the hotter team right now. CJ Bailey, offense. I'll take them.
All right, next game up, Washington State versus Utah State. Future conference foes within college football in the famous Idaho Potato Bowl. Who wins it and why, Jake?
I need to preface this for the listeners out there. There are some opt-outs in this one. So can I list a couple?
Yeah.
Because there really hasn't been a lot of transfers, but this one, it's obviously wild, partially because it might have my team involved. Like 10 guys for Washington State have hit the portal. Their second leading receiver, one of their starting corners, their second leading tackler are all transferring for Wazoo. And then Utah State's leading receiver is also in the portal. I'm just going to be a Cyclone homer here. A future defensive coordinator, Jesse Bobbitt, interim here for the Cougs. Get it done. I'm not a big Utah State Bryson Barnes fan. I just don't love it when I watch them. So I like the Cougs.
Yeah, I think I got roped into taking Wazoo when all the picks are due for family bowl pick 'em before a lot of this news broke. I'm going to take Broncos Big Bad Boys and the Utah State Aggies.
Put me on Utah State as well. I think the way they played against Boise State, they really had an opportunity to win that football game and probably should have. And I think they got a bad taste in their mouth they're going to take out in the Gasparilla Bowl. So give me Utah State.
Yeah, I'll echo that one too. I just mentioned they're averaging 31 points a game, +4 turnover differential versus Wazoo having a negative turnover differential. So I'll take the Aggies.
Next game up, Toledo, Louisville, the Boca Raton Bowl presented by Bush's. Not the good Bush, the beer, but a different company. And this is the Boca Raton Bowl that's brought a lot of fireworks.
We don't need to take shots at Bush's baked beans because those things are fire.
You know, if you bring a can of
baked bean guy,
baked bean,
ooh, one of my favorite sides.
Really?
What are you saying? What are you saying, James?
Mark that down.
You get if you're around in the Boca Raton area next Tuesday, if you bring a can of Bush's baked beans, you get in the game for free. Did you guys see that?
Yeah, I did see that.
But I love
free admission.
What happens if I show up with 100 cans?
So if I bring
100 tickets,
what do I have to bring to the Super Bowl? See, you just don't get that. You just do not get that. But let's pick this matchup. Jake, who do you like?
Oh man, I'm just gonna
go. He takes Toledo, right?
No, I'll go Louisville. Toledo defensively. Well, he's not coaching, so it don't matter in this.
Yeah, I know, but still, those are his guys.
Defensively, Toledo's given up less than 14 points in 7 of their 8 MAC games, but they're not playing a MAC opponent. I like Jeff Brom going out on top and getting a big win because I think they have a huge 2026 season ahead of them.
Louisville.
Come on, baby. Louisville. I like Brom's group when it comes down to it. I think they've got another team with bad taste in their mouth from the way they ended the season. On the flip side, Tucker Gleason and Toledo's just done nothing but let me down throughout the entire season. So give me Louisville.
Yeah, I'm going to echo that too. I probably should look at this for my fun fact, but I think when it comes to MAC playing outside of that conference against the power teams, I don't think they do very well in bowl games, so I'll take Louisville.
Next game up, Western Kentucky, Southern Miss in the New Orleans Bowl. Worst place on earth. What do you guys think in this matchup, Jake?
Yeah, I think this is the only one we really haven't covered much.
The
vibe, total vibes pick. Like it's down with Southern Miss right now. Like you brought in Charles Huff to kind of turn the program around. Yeah, you were off to a hot start. Like you were a lock to get into the Sun Belt title and then drop 3 in a row the end of the year. And then Huff just ends up leaving. Yeah. So I like Western Kentucky in this game.
Yeah, I'll take Western as well.
Western high-flying offense against a team that's gotten beaten down mentally, and they're about to get beat down physically. Give me Western.
Everything Parks just said. Give me the Hilltoppers.
All right, Tops on top for Play the Fight song. Moving it down, UNLV against Ohio. Mountain West versus the MAC in the Scooters Coffee Frisco Bowl. Shout out Scooters Coffee, Omaha brand. Let's pick this one, Jake.
Delicious.
Bobcats, put them in a phone booth. I don't think UNLV can defend the run against Bangura and Navarro. So I like the Bobcats.
Yeah, it's starting to sound like I'm just an echoing chamber for what Jake's got. So I'd like to go before him next time around. I'm gonna take the Bobbies here.
Yeah, I got a coworker that sits literally 2 offices away from me. Used to play D-line for Ohio. That's my inside source. Yeah, give me Bobbies. I will not be going and having a conversation with him about picking the other team in a bowl game. They've been here before, by the way. He's played in this.
Yeah, I really thought about this one, but everybody's riding them, so I'll ride with the boys. I'll go with the Bobcats too.
Another clean sweep. The Ohio Bobcats and Play the Fight song hand
Give
in
me the
hand.
points.
We would be exposed by Twitter, like when game day picks a team and then they go and
Yes.
lose, and
They would
We'll have
screenshot the
to-
crap out of us.
We'll have to actually go back and
5
see
games in
when
a
we
row.
were unanimous how bad it was.
All right, Cal, Hawaii in the Hawaii Bowl on Christmas
Bye.
Eve, just for your delight to lead you into Christmas Day. Who's winning it, Jake?
No, I'll let JP go first. I don't want to steal his mojo.
I don't think you're gonna. Defend the island is true, but JKS comes into town. I think Cal's pretty good still, so I'll take Cal.
To his island.
Yeah,
Back to you,
no, we are defending the island. There's no shot Cal wins this game. It's a home game on Christmas Eve for the Rainbow Warriors.
Just a few short weeks ago, we previewed San Diego State and Hawaii, Jensen. Do you remember what Hawaii did to that team after we picked San Diego State?
Picked Hawaii that day.
Yeah, Jake, you were great against the spread. We should have wrote
Yeah,
with you. But
check the
I
board.
do like the Rainbow Warriors in the bowl game. I think they get to 6-4 all time in this matchup, and nothing wrong with cheering for Hawaii in the Hawaii Bowl. Reese.
I'll ride with JKS and the boys trying to get a high note going into
There
next
you
year
go.
with a new
Little
head coach.
split, little house divided.
All right. 2-2 split to end bowl picks. That is all the bowl games you will see before the next time we talk to you. There's a ton of games. It's going to be a lot of fun. Make sure you tune into bowl season. Let's go to the betting segment to end tonight's show. Let's lead it off. The one and only, I should say, because we're not doing underdogs. Let's go to the best bet. Best bets on the board for week 2 of bowl season. This includes the college football playoff first round if you want it, gentlemen. What do you like, Jake?
Circle back around.
What?
Okay. What do you like, Reese?
He doesn't know. I'm going to go with the round 1 matchup that we've already seen play this year just because I mentioned it before, but I will take Ole Miss minus 17.5.
Yeah, I like the pick. I'll take the other side. I'll take Oregon minus the 21.5. I think that they cover the number. I had them covering it just by a few points, but I think they do it against James Madison. JP.
Yeah, I think we get to Wednesday, right? Christmas Eve, the last one we'll take.
Yep.
I like Arkansas
defending
State
the
a lot,
island? Okay.
actually.
Wow.
So that's where I'm going to be. Just previewing what I put on the old X app tomorrow. I do like Arkansas State a lot tomorrow.
X the everything app.
All right, Jake, back to you. This better be a damn good pick.
Are we doing a dog's dog or is this just this?
What I say, man.
No,
Listen to the show. No.
Okay.
No.
Then my
Yes,
dog. I'm
Okay,
taking a
let's-
dog. Taking a dog and a cat. Bobcats plus 6.5.
Nice.
Ohio
That works.
Bobcats.
That works. That works.
Speaking of Bobcats, Brawl the Wild round 2, FCS
Yeah.
semifinal.
Oh, yes.
Bozeman.
That's
Have you seen the
3
third
o'clock
party?
3
Have you
o'clock
seen-
Saturday.
Have you seen the third party ticket sales for that game?
Yeah.
900 bucks.
They said
Under
I
800.
ended up on Big Sky, like in the algorithm with all that stuff. And they said so many people showed up to the ticket office. The season ticket holders had a chance to get extra tickets first. So many people showed up so early and requested so many. They didn't even have the ability to open it up to the public because there were so many season ticket holders. And that's when the resale came after that.
We'll
But
see if
Brawl
the
the
Grizz can
Wild-
get their lick back.
I'd say,
Yeah.
I think they do.
They think they
I
should have
think-
won that game. And I
think
watched
they-
it back
I-
again today. And
What's the spread? That might
4.
be a best bet for me. I think
Montana
I'm playing
State
it with
-4.
Montana this time.
No, Montana State is -4.
Oh, Montana State. Yeah, okay. Then even better. I might take Montana on
Week of the
on
dog.
money line.
for Jake.
Better.
Might have to put an additional pick out there if you're so confident in it, Jake. But all right, that's it. That's bowl season week 2, including the first round of the college football playoff. We broke down a lot tonight, covered a lot. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the like button if you love college football, if you enjoyed the show. I put it in the description of the video, but if any bowl game that we talked about, previewed, including the first round, if you drop a score prediction in the comments, hit it on the nose. Free no rivals cap sent to you on behalf of Play the Fight Song. So make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel. We love you. We'll see you next week as we break down more college football. This is college football heaven. We appreciate you. We'll see you next time. Jake, take her away.
Split.
Congrats on the bowl win, AKC.